All right, day 45. Give you guys a nicer view today from my front porch. Today has been quite a powerful one. I made a video earlier, but I looked back and I was feeling like maybe it just wasn't quite the edge of my heart. I was feeling like a lot of it came intellectually instead. That's funny because then I was totally in resistance to the fact that that was happening. I was just finished meditating for like 30 minutes and uncovered that. And it's fascinating to me how much inner conflict we are constantly in. And I noticed this through an exercise that I was doing by Julia Cameron called Blurts, and it's from The Artist's Way, if any of you are interested in checking that out. And basically what you do is you take an affirmation on one side of the page, and then, so you write the affirmation, and then on the other side of the page, you write everything that immediately comes up, and it's usually the stuff like, you know, if you're, take something like really just, if you want to manifest a car, we'll just say, and that's your affirmation, something like that. This is a terrible example, but it's just what I thought of off the top of my head. So say you want to manifest a car, and then the blurts are stuff like, I don't have the money. It's not going to happen. I don't believe it's possible. It's sort of, and it tends to be more negative. Not always. Sometimes I do have positive ones, but it tends to be the negative stuff. And then after that, you come back to the affirmation. And the point of the exercise is, no matter what the blurts are, you continually bring yourself back to the affirmation, back to the truth piece. But what's interesting to me is when you look at that page and you look at everything on the left, and the affirmation typically, you know, we believe intellectually a lot of the time. We believe it's possible to manifest an amazing life, a great relationship, or whatever it is that you want. But then we secretly have all these other beliefs underneath that are in conflict with that one. So if you look at that page, it's like one level of what you believe, all the other things you believe. One level of what you believe, all the other things you believe. But what it is it's actually your own mind arguing with itself. And if you think about that, it's no wonder that these things don't come about, because we are constantly in this level of turmoil with so many different things. And I've been finding a lot lately talking about that acceptance. I mentioned this a little earlier in a video. And not acceptance from the place of complacency, like we never want to change anything. And, you know, I use the example of like, if you're in an abusive relationship, you don't accept that it's an abusive relationship so you can stay there. You accept it so you can be real with what's happening and then decide where you want to go from there. And what keeps us in pain so often is that we are in an argument with reality of what's actually happening. And what I'm finding is that the meditation seriously decreases that argument. It allows you to see the argument outside of yourself and just sort of go, wow, that's like, see the whole thing happening, and then you realize how just nuts it is that we argue with ourselves that much. I mean, it's literally like think of it this way. If you could take your thoughts and put them outside of your head, that's what it would be like. It'd be like arguing with another person, but it's totally a figment of your imagination. But that's what it is. And it's just craziness to stay there. And a lot of that is starting to fall away from me. I'm noticing more and more that is lessening. And also, this practice is just keeping me at the edge of my heart. And like these videos, I'm learning to distinguish. I can see the places where it's truly vulnerable and authentic and just coming through. And I can see the places and feel them where I'm trying to do something, and it's a strenuous effort, and it's not from my heart, it's coming from my head to try to get a result, because basically I don't love a part of myself. It's some lack around self-love. And I'm learning to find my real voice in every single moment. And in that place, you are totally solid 100% of the time. That is real security, self-love, and being in acceptance of the moment. And I'm also finding the painful piece of this, or what my mind believes is the painful piece, is everything that's falling away as a cause of seeing the truth. And that's what happens, when you set an intention, or like say your intention is fearlessness. Well, to achieve that, you have to face all your fears. And any intention works that way. Whatever you set it as, everything that is not that intention has to rise up and then fall away. So if your intention is self-love, all of the places you don't love yourself are going to come up. So they have an opportunity to fall away and leave and be released. And I'm just noticing how much illusion is being stripped away, how many of my beliefs and ways of thinking that are not me anymore, that are falling off. And there's a lot of emotion coming up with that. Sort of almost regularly going through this, like, it feels like my body's way of integrating the growth that's happened, of just way more emotional release and less resistance to the emotional release, and more acceptance of just being in it, not arguing with what is. So it's feeling really good. I'm feeling way healthier and way more accountable for my own experience. That's another thing I'm really, really seeing too, is that anybody can do this. Anybody can seek their own heart and then share that. You have to be willing. The difference is you just keep showing up for the journey. There is nothing outside of you, no situation, there aren't any knights or knightesses on Shining Armor that are coming to save us. You have to be invested and willing to show up for yourself, whatever that means to you, be it for your own healing, any kind of transformation you're making in life, whatever that is, you can apply it to your life. You just have to be willing to be accountable for your own experience and your contribution to that experience. So, wow, yeah, day 45. Let's call this accountability and acceptance and finding our own authentic voice and whatever else I talked about. I have no idea. And that is a good indication to me, because it means I was not in my head trying to tell you something. If it's from my heart, I usually don't remember it. So we're golden. This is the one we'll post. See you guys on the next day.